he is going to slap and stab. Slappy stab. Wah. Hey guys, it's me Tantacles. You knew it was coming, the green element tier list. I'm going to go through all the green elements so that you know what the best elements are in the game. Do me a favor though, click the like button and subscribe to my channel if you want more Chrono Cross content. And before I start, I'm very sorry about the terrible coloring on these. I made the tier list and then realized they were terrible, and honestly, I've been working nights all week, so I don't have the energy to fix this. The next one will be better, I promise. Here we go. Bushwacker is first. That's our level 1 attack element. It's going to go in the C tier, and Arrow Saucer is available around the same time, and it's going to go into the A tier. Now, granted, for the whole game, Arrow Saucer is not A tier, but given that it's available at about the same time as Bushwacker, it's in the A tier for the times that it's available and other elements aren't. It's certainly less useful than every other attack element above it. It's just you don't have access to those elements at the time that you get Arrow Saucer. Next up is Bush Basher, and that's going to go into the C tier, and Arrow Blaster is going to go into the A tier, just above Arrow Saucer. Arrow Blaster is your level 4 attack element, and Bush Basher is your level 3 attack element. They're available at around the same time at the same shop, so you might as well just take Arrow Blasters instead of Bush Bashers. Bush Bashers do cause poison, which I guess is a little bit useful if you like just miss a kill and you're able to do 2 HP of damage, but honestly, it really doesn't matter. Status effects in this game, with the exception of Freeze, which I talked about in my blue element tier list just a little bit ago, are just not that useful. Carnivore is next. That's our level 5 attack element, and like all of the level 5 attack elements, that goes into the S tier along with its trap. Now, I have to say, the first couple times I played this game, this was one of the harder elements to trap just because I had no idea what cast it, but there are, in fact, common enemies that will cast this. My hint to you is make the entire field green against certain green element enemies, and you will get Carnivore. Or just trap it from a very specific dragon, and you will know when that time comes. When you get there, remember, you can always run away and re-equip your traps if you miss the element that you're trying to trap. Next up is Tornado, another S tier element. Now, the only reason that it's going below Carnivore is that it can only be equipped to green innate characters. It is in fact more powerful than Carnivore because it is the level 6 attack element and Carnivore is the level 5. But that restriction on only equipping it to green innate characters is deleterious to its use. Now, granted, you do get Glenn, who's a fantastic character, but his magic isn't that great. You're going to use him mainly for physical attacks, so this just isn't that special on him. But if you want to do great green elemental damage and you're using someone like Razly, this is a top tier element. Absolutely use it. Sonya is going to go into the A tier. I'm going to put it above Arrow Blaster. Oh gosh. And its trap is also going to go into the A tier. It's our level 7 summon element, so it can be down allocated to level 5, and it's going to give you your green rainbow materials to make rainbow equipment. As usual, it's much more useful than the level 8 summon element because it can be down allocated, and you really do want to get those rainbow materials in your first playthrough because you can carry over rainbow equipment into your New Game Plus, but you cannot carry over rainbow shells. So you want to use all of your rainbow shells to make equipment. Next up is Genie, which is going to go into the B tier. Great damaging spell. Of course, it's our level 8 summoning element, can only be allocated to level 8 by a green innate character. However, like with Sonya, the entire field must be green, so it's difficult to use unless you have green field, of course, which is going to go into the S tier. The field spells are amazing. You can spend 1 turn erasing all of the enemy's progress in changing the field to their color and make your green element characters do a lot of damage. And with someone like Glenn in your party, if you turn the entire field green, he is going to slap and stab. Slappy stab. Wah. Next up is Antiyellow, and like most of the anti-elements, it's going to go into the C tier. This is a level 4 element that can only be equipped by green innate characters that prevents the use of all yellow elements by 1 character. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that often on bosses, and a lot of the yellow bosses are actually physical, so this is even worse. Actually, I'm going to put this in the D tier because there are so many physical yellow bosses. You're better off just doing more damage with your green characters to the boss and killing them more quickly rather than waiting for them to try to get you. Next up is Antidote, our level 2 status healing spell, and that's going to go into the D tier. It only heals green status effects, so it is not as useful as Panacea, and it's not as useful as Purify, and it's level 2, and you have plenty of curative elements that can go into the level 1 slot, so you don't need this in the level 2 slot. Putting elements into the level 1 slot is going to be more useful because then, before you get green field, you can change the field effect to make your green characters do more damage. I will be doing another video all about the field effect damage, and then once that video is done, I will link it up here, so just wait for it. It's going to be a little bit because I still have some more tier listing to do. Next up is Bat Eye, which will decrease the accuracy of an enemy's physical attacks. However, again, this is not going to work well on bosses, and many bosses will use strong elements and techs anyway that won't miss, so this is going to go into the D tier. And then Eagle Eye, unfortunately, is outclassed by 99 in the red element. Now granted, Eagle Eye has the advantage over 99 of being able to be equipped to any character, whereas 99 can only be equipped to red innate characters, and again, I'll explain a little bit more about 99 in my tier list for the red elements above. And because of that, Eagle Eye goes into the D tier, just completely outclassed by another element, so you do not need it. That being said, Eagle Eye is a little bit more available, so I guess that's an argument that you could use it, but I wouldn't use it. Just use 99 if you get it. Next up is Heal, and Heal is going to go into the C tier. When you get Heal, you don't have access to a lot of the other healing elements, so it's either that or Cure, or Recover All if you get that early enough. But healing in this game is very valuable. If you don't heal, enemies will kill you. And of course, it can be allocated to level 1 to change the field effect, so very useful. Next up, though, is Heal All, and Heal All is an S tier element. Now, I find this kind of sad because you also have in the green element Heal Plus. Now, Heal All is a level 4 element that can be equipped to any innate character, and it heals all of your party for a good amount of HP. Heal Plus is level 6 and can only be equipped to green innate characters and only heals one person. Now, the times when you really desperately need to heal, you're usually trying to heal your entire party. It's very rare that you truly only want to heal one person, and if you did, you can use Cure Plus, which can be allocated to literally anyone, and it can be allocated to level 1 or 2, whereas Heal Plus can only be allocated to levels 4 to 8. So I would not waste my level 4 slot on Heal Plus, and it's going to go into the D tier. This is on par with Seal All for one of my least favorite elements in the entire game. Infoscope is next, and this is also going to go into the D tier for me. I don't know why they made a scanning spell, which is what this is. It shows you your enemy's HP. I don't know why they made a scanning spell that is only allocatable, number 1, to levels 4 to 8, and number 2, only allocatable to green characters. It doesn't provide any special benefit. You literally just get to see the enemy's HP. And if I'm not mistaken, it can fail too, so you're just wasting a turn on it. Don't bother. It's really not worth your time. Just Google the enemy and find out what their HP is. It's stupid. Next up is Turn Green, and that's going to go into the top of B tier. Bottom of A tier. Yeah, bottom of A tier I'm comfortable with. If you're using a yellow innate character, it's very useful. Unfortunately, I think the yellow characters in this game are somewhat lackluster. Now granted, if there's a yellow innate character that you love, like Norris, please use them. It's important to use the characters you like in this game. You can beat the game with literally anyone. It's not that hard a game, although some of the bosses are a little bit difficult. Although, feel free to argue with me about that, that's okay. So that's the tier list. Leave a comment if you disagree with my placements, subscribe to my channel, and like the video, and I will see you in the next one. The final tier list is going to be the yellow tier list.